I remember being in that hospital and seeing the nurses walking by us, going through their day, and aware of just how many days they've survived life. Everyone who's still here has survived infinite opportunities for their life to end. And how much of a miracle it is for us to have the opportunity to just breathe and to share time together. How fleeting that is.
Welcome to the Whole Human Experience, your library for experiential wellness. So let's start here.
Where it all began.
This was the original logo that we were playing with for Whole Human. And there's a lot to unpack there, I'm sure, as you see it, as we've blown it up on the screen. And the logo of what it is now, which you can just look at the podcast, you can look at anything that is Whole Human and see the depth of the logo, the depth of the brand, the quality of the production. And it's all because of this man, Theo. Welcome to the podcast, brother.
It's an honor.
You've been behind the camera, behind the scenes, really making Whole Human what I always saw it to be, but didn't know how to make it that. I only had what I had, and you actually made it into Whole Human. You actually visually represented this experience and this journey, this mission that we're on, to something that people can feel. So if any of you have felt what Whole Human is about recently, since January, how it's shifted on the online platform, how it's shifted here on the podcast, how it's shifted in the in-person experiences, the capturing of those and transferring to you all, it's because of Theo. So dude, your skills, your gifts, your love, your devotion is felt. Thank you for making Whole Human what it is right now.
Dude, thank you. Thank you, truly. Thank you.
Yeah.
For trusting me with something that's so near and dear to your heart. And that's so clear to me throughout this entire process, through witnessing you behind the camera and the editing process, clipping things, the decisions that have been made with Whole Human just throughout this whole process. I've been so deeply inspired by the integrity, the intention, the attention to detail that you bring. And it's been literally the smoothest and most easeful effort that I've actually ever had in a working relationship, collaborative relationship with anybody. So thank you, man.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. Very grateful. And both of us, which, we'll get into that. I think how that came through. But the main thing I want to go into is your path to wholeness and how it's happened in the past 6 months. Because at some point in time, everybody goes through an initiatory process. And damn, have you had an initiatory process.
Yes, indeed.
My experience from the outside, my experience knowing the heartbreak you went through, the business relationship that started and ended, the change of location and the declaration of a new location to call home, which is massive. Huge. I mean, the initiatory process in the past 6 months, I think everybody would value from hearing this, knowing that now you are here based in Nosara. This is your home. That's a big deal.
A very big deal.
And that just happened like a month ago. It's fresh.
Yes.
So can you bring us into that process a little bit? How has this initiatory experience been, and how has Nosara, Whole Human, how's this all played a role in it?
That is the biggest question.
Yeah, no, there you go.
It's like, so bro, you've been through the craziest fucking time of your life. Tell us about
how's
it.
that been? Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. It literally has been the most intense 6 months of my life. From, like you mentioned, 5-year relationship ending with a woman who I was at one point sure that I would marry. Had all these plans of what we'd name our kids, how many kids we would have. We came to Nosara together for the first time. She really introduced me to the conscious community, actually. And that relationship ending was honestly the beginning, just the beginning of what would be the most deep, profoundly difficult, but ultimately alchemical processes that has led me to a deep, deep, deep sense of wholeness within myself. Do you want me to tell the whole story? Like, what?
However you want to convey it, because these are codes, man. I've seen it from the outside, and more than what we just said, you know, business partners in the project, you're a brother and somebody we've had some heartfelt, hard drop-ins together with, to create safety in this community, to grow together. And I've seen you come into wholeness, and I'll share, you know, a perspective if you want at some point. But as much as you want to share that you feel like the listeners could take away, because an initiatory process, the fact that it's so fresh, it's rare that somebody is in such a fresh initiatory experience and can share it out. Usually years later, this is what I've learned.
Yeah.
You have just went into this initiation, I assume is still continuing.
Of course.
And so however you want to speak to that.
Yeah. Let me find that. I came to Nosara. Well, I came to Costa Rica at the start of this year because there was a lot of literal birth happening, but there was also the birth of a business that I was building. And I flew in to support my business partner at the time and his partner with the birth of their newborn son. And it was beautiful to have the opportunity to get to hold that baby boy. I had a moment where I was holding him because his mother was having some deep complications with the postpartum process, and she was in the doctor's office and screaming in pain. And I got to hold him. I had the honor of holding that boy. And I remember looking at him and just seeing a future with him. Seeing him growing up, seeing how similar he actually looked to me when I was a baby. And visualizing, honestly, like an uncle role with him in his life. And I made these like deep commitments to him in that moment. And a day and a half later, I was in the hospital with his father and his mother in a wheelchair, with him taking his last breath, and I was just one room away from that, and hearing the immense pain that both of them were in, witnessing that, holding that, being with them in that, was really how I started my year. I was like January 9th, I think. And I remember being in that hospital and seeing the nurses walking by us, going through their day, and aware of just how many days they've been alive, how many days they've survived life, how many days that I have survived life, that we've all, everyone who's still here, has survived infinite opportunities for their life to end. And how much of a miracle it is for us to have the opportunity to just breathe and to share time together. How fleeting that is. You and I had just started working together on Whole Human a few weeks prior to this. And within a couple days, you flew in. And that was our first time meeting in person. So naturally, you and I immediately had like this deep, deep bond. as a result. And a few days later, it was my birthday. What a trip to be coming fresh off a 5-year relationship ending, ready to start a new chapter, a new life, new business, new project, new baby, new life. Death. Birthday. How does one celebrate their life when death has just occurred? And the way that I celebrated was by writing a poem. Writing a poem about how grateful I am to be alive and to share this breath with you. And the start of the year, I got this tattoo. It's the Ouroboros, snake eating its own tail, to honor the infinite cycle of birth and death, of creation and destruction. And here I was being the snake eating its own tail. And that's how the season began. And unfortunately, after that, there was more unraveling. That project with my now past business partner, there was a rupture that couldn't be repaired. And the project, unfortunately, also crumbled apart. So that was another death that occurred very early on in the year. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting here holding 3 deaths. And what's interesting about that is what I would then experience over the next few months up until this point was so much of that death and decay actually became the fertilizer for a new self to grow and to emerge. And what I found within myself through the process of dancing my ass off at Ecstatic Dance with you, with this incredible community, with being behind the lens, capturing so many beautiful and important ideas being shared, being behind the lens, capturing portraiture of the adventures that we've shared together, traveling to Uvita to go to Envision, going crazy at Envision with you as well.
Yeah.
Connecting with so many incredible people, including the man who's now behind the camera, Harrison. Shout out Harrison. Wow. Did I ever find so much love in my heart simply through the process of being honest and true. And I think that Nosara and this community that we're cultivating in Nosara and communities outside of this community there's this foundational need for honesty and transparency among us. It's not a place where you can be deceptive. People see through that super quickly here, and people end up leaving. But the people who are super real, I can feel them rooting deeper into this place. And that's a really, really cool thing to find. And that's ultimately why I was like, you know what? I think I could live here. I'm gonna commit to that. Because that feels right.
Wow. Death and grief being the soil for birth and something new is essential, and it is something I've encountered only recently as well. And it's when we embrace the grief that it becomes the soil.
Mm.
It's when we have that contained encounter with death. As Francis Weller would say, it becomes an initiation.
Mm-hmm.
Without containment, it becomes trauma.
Mm.
What do you think it is about Nosara in particular that created the containment?
Mm. Mm. You know, it's interesting. The thing that's coming up is consistency.
Mm.
It's the fact that in this community, consistent community,
Mm-hmm.
every single Sunday, I was dancing.
Oh, yeah. Dancing your ass off.
Dancing in the center of the fucking shala, going off.
Yeah. Those who know. Those who've seen Theo dance, know. Man gets after it.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Good.
good time. Every single Sunday, I'm there. Every single Saturday, I'm having a novel experience with new people that I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and also people that I've seen at various other experiences in the past.
Mm-hmm.
There's that consistency allows for novelty because there's new people coming in, there's a new experience happening every single time,
Mm-hmm.
but it also allows for safety and structure
Mm-hmm.
and stability and the bridging
Mm-hmm.
of stability and novelty
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm.
And that's rare. For example, in the city, I lived in Toronto for a while, my 20s. And there's a lot of novelty there. There's a lot of things happening all the time. But it's very difficult to find consistent community there. Consistent. Or maybe in a place that's a typical small town in Canada or the United States or even here, most small towns, there will be a lot of consistency,
Mm-hmm.
but there won't be much novelty.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really unique place in that it's a town. It's a small place. If you walk on the beach every day, you're going to know 8 or 10 people along the beach, depending on how social you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to run into people all the time. But there's a lot of novelty happening too. There's a lot of new energy coming in and out. There's a lot of creativity happening here that is leading to new experiences popping up all the time. And literally every single week we have a novel, fun adventure to do because there's so much happening here. So I think that combination of the two created the containment, the container for me to slowly but surely process the grief that I was holding. And it's still there, of course. It's a process. And I am very surprised by how deeply integrated those experiences feel for me after such a short period of time. Like I'm truly am transformed. I know that to be true, like in an embodied sense over 5 months. Wild.
How does one dance with grief? I've seen you do it.
I have danced with, dude,
Oh.
you have seen me dance with grief.
Oh, yeah. I've danced with you in that grief.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. How does one do that? Especially as a man, and this speaks to any human, but men in particular with feeling, dancing and feeling, and then feeling something messy like grief, to dance with that and express that. How does one enter that experience?
That's a great question. How does one dance with grief? There's 2 ways you can dance with grief. You can either dance just with yourself, or you can dance with others.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer dancing with others. The amazing thing about dance is that it allows us to communicate non-verbally. It allows us to communicate much more emotionally and somatically. And if you really drop into the alchemy of dance, the beauty of dance with another person, you really get to see each other in a deeper way, in a way that words distract us from. There's this almost telepathic communication that occurs when you're improvising with someone, where you can reach like such a deep flow state where there's no room for you to think. And that space can allow for a deeper form of witnessing and being witnessed. And if you're dancing in the right community or with the right people, you can drop into being seen in a really intimate way. And also having mirroring to that, seeing another person, seeing you in your authentic expression, for lack of a better word, because that gets thrown around a lot, but like truly being yourself.
Yeah, which is why we don't allow speaking on the dance floor at ecstatic for exactly that reason. It's a space you can express verbally, make noises and do all that, which you do. And I like.
Oh, I do.
And I love. But the words do take us out of that. It goes into our thinking process. You go in the somatic process through the expression. But this might sound intangible for somebody who's like, I've never been to ecstatic dance. Like dance is not just that, because you can do structured dance. You can do salsa, which is steps, which is logical. It's like, I do this and you do that. So not all dance, right? It's the free form. It's the full on. It's the ecstatics. It's the improv contact. It's the certain space and containment of dance. But it sounds easy when you say it, but how did you allow it? And what were the initial blocks around it? Or was this actually just accessible for you? Like, how did you drop into that?
Such a good question, man. Yeah, no, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Even now, like dancing with a partner there's always like this edge that I find myself navigating, which is, are they enjoying this? Maybe? Is this too much? When are we gonna stop? When does this end? Am I enjoying this? Like there can be moments where that voice will come in. Am I doing this right? The process of learning how was just to start, just to fucking do it messy, just to do it without knowing how to do it. The same way the process of learning Spanish here requires a certain level of messiness. The same way starting a new project or a new collaborative relationship, there's always going to be things that go wrong or are imperfect or just aren't perfect. And just jumping the fuck in and trying and being willing to be seen trying, I think is the best way to drop into any practice, but it applies to this form of dance as well.
Yeah, getting the messy.
Yes.
I mean, that's the only way to embrace the mud of grief and of death.
Yes.
You have to jump in. You got to play in the mud.
Yes.
A little chancho. Be like a little pig. Get in that mud. Truly, though. And embrace those parts, which I've seen you do, both in verbal conversations, but even more so in the nonverbal and the universal communication of dance and movement. Really have seen you go into that space. So Nosara has been this contained space for you, but to choose this place as a home, that's very hard for travelers, for people who have access like you to be like, I can go there, I can go there, I can literally go anywhere in the world. Like, how did you come to the conclusion to be like home? Choice. That's a very challenging decision and a very big decision to make. To be like home, the declaration of that.
Well, what I'm about to say, some hippie shit. It was the last night of Envision. After many nights of wild self-exploration in the jungles of Costa Rica. And we had just pretty much finished our last night.
Mm.
And it was just the most epic full send of a night.
Mm. Polo and Pan.
Polo and Pan.
Oh my. Shout out Polo and Pan. If you don't know,
you need to know. Learn. Culture yourself. Just like such an incredible week. One of the most beautiful weeks of my life, honestly. Mm. And I was lying down in a gong bath. A cuddle puddle gong bath.
As you do.
As you do.
Yes.
But I was having like this really deep experience, and I was seeing these visions. I was seeing visuals of surfing. I actually saw a visual of you surfing and being like, damn, dude, I want to get better at surfing. Yeah, I want to get better at surfing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I was seeing myself playing guitar in like the jungle. And then I was seeing ecstatic dance. And then I was looking at my life and the life that I genuinely just live here. Mm-hmm. And I saw, wow, when I'm here, I'm actually making significantly more money than I've made anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Because what I do is really needed here. It's really valued here. And there are resources available to like receive what it's worth here. Mm-hmm. Wow, okay. And the friendships that I've made here, oh my God, I can really trust these people. I can be my whole self in the mud, be seen, be witnessed in that, and they get closer to me. Oh my God, I have like real community here. Then I opened my eyes and I looked at the jungle around me and I was like, holy shit, this is absolutely beautiful. And I felt into my body and I thought, I'm barefoot every day. I go in the ocean every day. I eat whole foods more often here. I'm constantly active because that's just naturally how you live here. I'm healthier here too. Not a hard decision to make. Not a difficult decision to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I came to that conclusion.
Checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
But you had to know in yourself what you wanted, what
Yes.
you needed, the non-negotiables. You had to have that internal clarity. You had to have that compass dialed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's fair.
That compass is very dialed.
Yeah. And I imagine through a lot of experiencing exactly what you don't want, through heartbreak, through devastation, through griefs and loss, you're like, oh, okay. I know that pain and I can feel that and go with that. And it also brings clarity to truth, to what you need and what you desire.
Yes.
Nosara can hold it, but Nosara can also bring up a lot of shit, which a lot of people, it can be very confronting and very difficult, which definitely wasn't easy for you. Because you just brought up a bunch of good things. A bunch of like, look at this. Yes, all this greatness.
Yes.
What's the shadow side of Nosara?
That is such a good question.
Yeah.
The shadow side that I've seen of Nosara. What's interesting is I find the shadow side of Nosara is generally not the people who live here. Generally, the shadow side I've seen is the people who are in and out very quickly. I think there's a lot of shadows around how tourists relate to a place like this. There's, I think, an unfortunate lack of respect that some people from other countries bring to the locals here, to the land here, to the culture here, that is just simply a reality. I think of any place, though. When I think of like the deeper community here that I've been a part of, the shadow side that I see, honestly, man, like compared to pretty much everywhere else in the world that I've been, there's a lot more that's just in the light. Because to me, for it to be a shadow side it's something that maybe we're avoiding, maybe we're not looking at, we're not addressing, we're not talking about. That's one of the magical parts of this place, is that we talk about these things. We face them. There's like I said earlier, there's a deep need for honesty and transparency and openness that I feel as a foundation of the culture that I've been a part of here. So are there imperfect parts? Yes. Are there miscommunications? Yes. Are there assumptions that get made? Absolutely. We're human beings trying to understand this human experience on the spinning rock in space. And we talk about it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, when you got masks on here, you don't last long. You don't last with a mask, I like to say.
Fucking mask off.
What kind of people do you feel are drawn here to live here as the people that aren't from here? Who are those people? Who are we?
Yo, who we, bro? People who really value living well. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And who understand the importance of community, the importance of nature, the importance of kindness, respect. Yeah.
If you were stuck in Toronto and you didn't have a choice to come to Nosara, Costa Rica, and you had the same exact set of experiences you've had in the past 6 months, what advice do you give that person to navigate that grief, to navigate that rupture, to navigate that process, to make it an initiatory process if they don't have access to what we do here?
The most important aspect of moving through grief, I think, is community. I really, truly, from my core, believe that community is essential to finding wholeness when you feel fragmented. If you're going through something difficult, be honest with the people around you. Tell the truth. If people don't receive that, find the next person. If they don't receive it, find the next person. If they don't receive it, find the next person. Eventually, you'll find someone who really can meet you where you're at. And I would be willing to bet that they know 3 or 4 or 5 more people that can meet you where you're at. Be fucking real. Be honest. Be true. And be seen in that. And that process, just repeating that process, as uncomfortable as it is, seeking that out, whether it's, going to that hippie experience that you've been kind of on the edge about and like, oh, maybe that's a little weird, but maybe I'll just go connect with someone and be real with them. Or maybe it has nothing to do with hippiedom, and go join a run club. And if someone asks you how you're really doing, tell them the truth. Find some community activity that's related to your interests and be yourself.
Beautiful. You keep doing this.
I do.
You do.
Yes.
And maybe people have seen this before. And obviously it is the logo of Whole Human.
And the cover art of the podcast.
Can you speak to it? What does this mean to you? And how did it come to be?
Yes.
Can you share from your perspective?
So like you said, it came from the logo conversation we were having around Whole Human. It like the actual logo is two hands. It's your hand and your partner Isis's hand. And what we really wanted to communicate was a sense of bridging of different worlds, whether it's the Costa Rican and immigrant or expat world. So racially as well, like the creating one place where we can coexist together, but also masculine, feminine. Creating a sense of unity between polarities. And what I found, like that was the initial read of it, and it looked amazing and we went with it. But over the course of the past few months, as we've been working together, as life has been occurring, I've consistently seen this symbol come up in moments where I was having like a deep, dark, difficult process, and I was held in that wholeness. So to me now, what the logo means and what this like just what this gesture means is all of you belongs here on this earth. All of you, all parts of you, the light, the dark, the difficult to accept, the easy to accept, and everything in between. All of you belongs here. All of you belongs. You matter. You're fucking awesome. All of you's awesome. That's what that means to me. And that's also what I've really deeply embodied over the course of the past 5 months.
Symbolism is so important.
Yes.
Because since this came up in our discussion, same. It has been this continuing. I do it with clients all the time. I told you this. Like I'll be like, yeah, your playful self and your mature and adult self has to come together and create this whole stuff. It's always these parts at play, like no bad parts, as you would see in IFS, and bringing it all together. I love how you speak about it because that encapsulates what we're doing with this project and what we're about and what the containment we're creating for community and this collective coming together of potentially opposites, bringing them in.
Yes. It's transcending and including both.
Yes.
You are neither this or this. You are both.
Yes.
And that's an emergent self. Yes.
Yes. Yes, I just had to add that in there as a footnote to what you said. Please continue.
A note from your foot. I love it, man. It's beautiful that you were able to make this thing from an idea and just, let's to a shot with me and my partner, to actually making it to an animated thing, to actually making it to a logo, to put it digitally, to now we have shirts and physical things coming that we can be with and experience. And when the facility emerges, we'll have that. Going from idea, going from that beginning initial spark into a real tangible thing. You are a master of.
I love doing it.
Truly, man. You are truly such a profound creative and whole man. And to be able to bring something from a thought to tangible reality that's oftentimes even more beautiful than the original thought, to curate it into the fullness of what it can be. Yeah. It makes sense that you are finding more and more alignment here, the clients, the people, because you are coming into that space more and more. And to witness you and see you arrive, just knowing you over the past 6 months, really seeing you arrive, I'm like, oh, Theo's here. There he is. It's such a fucking gift, man.
Thank you.
You might have already spoken to it with this, but I have to ask. At this point in time, after the initiation, the devastation, the integration, the stages that you've been going through, the moment you're at now, what does it mean for you to be whole?
I've thought about this a lot because I've been behind the camera.
You've seen all the episodes.
Dude, I've been researching, I've been taking notes. I've been like, oh, that's a good note on wholeness. Let me just find it right now, though. You know?
Yeah. Drop all that.
Just shed all that. For me, what it means to be whole is to embrace duality. And through that embrace of duality, find non-duality, oneness, wholeness. Because whether we're talking about the universe at large or the internal universe that we are, for us to have any experience of it, there needs to be duality. There needs to be contrast. There needs to be light, dark. There needs to be hot, cold, whatever it is. There needs to be angry, at peace. To be whole to me is to honor and accept the vast spectrum of what that is, and to recognize that it's all one thing within myself and within the external world. And that is like a super like heady response from a felt sense, and just like a simple place. To me, being whole is just accepting that life is lifing, and I am being here in that process. That's what it means to be whole to me.
Beautiful. You're whole. You're definitely whole. Thank you, Theo. Love you, brother.
Bro. Love you.
We're going to do a lot more together. There's a lot more to talk about.
There's a lot more.
For now, thank you.